Hello everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just kidding. So, good evening everyone. My name is Alexa Uribe. I am a current senior at Solorio Academy High School. Even if I don't look like one, I'm currently standing on a board. But Mom, please let me know if I look tall over there. Please let me know. But I just want to take these next few minutes to talk about my experiences at Solorio and how much it has impacted me. I don't know if a couple minutes is enough, but I can surely try. So one thing that is very important to me, especially as a student at Solorio, is all the resources and opportunities that he has given me. So especially from freshman year, I've already been exposed to college info sessions and just many advising sessions with our post-secondary team, or just lunch periods where I'm like, oh, there's a meeting at UIC, I'm gonna go there in my lunch period. And that allowed me to be in the Collegiate Scholars Program in partnership with the University of Chicago. So I know that's wow, but it has truly been an honor to kind of be in that program since freshman year. And even with all grade levels, they have the equal opportunity to be accessed with all of these info sessions, even if they might not know what they want to do yet. We have so many different kind of just resources, if anything. And even our classes themselves, we have our regular classes, but we also have our kind of outside classes. So now as a senior, I'm in senior leaders, and there's also art therapy that partners with one of our programs where we get to meet with our buddies and kind of learn about disabilities and getting to interact with our buddies at the same time. So I think our cluster program is extremely amazing because of how much I get to meet them on a daily basis that maybe you might not meet them. But other than that, I would also like to give a shout out to some of our CTR residents here today. Ms. Kringle, Mr. Konkaleski sitting over there, congratulations. And our amazing art program and music program, I know Ms. Molinero is sitting over there. Hello, Ms. M. Amazing music here today. But as I am a senior going on just my college journey and filling out these applications, which are pretty stressful, I will admit, I would like to take the time and just say how inspired I was by one of our honorees today, Mr. Greg Case, who is sitting right there. Round of applause, please. But I was just so inspired on his academic journey, especially from Kansas State University to Harvard. I'm currently looking at the application right now as you speak. But I just think it's so amazing, especially with being the CEO of AON and its development. So in honor of that, please join me in welcoming and congratulating Mr. Case to the stage, and not just him, but him and AON itself.
I wish I needed it. Alexia, where are you? That was the most incredible discussion of sort of what you've accomplished and where you're going. It was inspiring. Tremendous. Thank you. I would also say the privilege of having you introduce me anytime you want to. Come by. I'm good to go on that. It'd be fantastic. Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say it is an absolute true privilege to be here tonight to accept this recognition on behalf of AON and Global AON. For over a decade, we have been so privileged to partner with AUSL as they help train teachers to the absolute highest standard to serve schools with the greatest need. Amazing. And by increasing the capacity of school leaders around the country, AUSL fulfills a unique opportunity to support schools and school districts nationally. This is an inspiring and profound mission. Again, truly amazing to make a difference in this critical area. So I just want to say on behalf of Global AON to AUSL, thank you. Thank you so much and congratulations. Now, as the AON video showed, I wasn't exactly what the AON video was going to be, but you saw in that video that we are in the business of better decisions. And I got to tell you, tonight, there is no better decision I could ever imagine, no better decision than being here with all of you to honor, of course, the faculty and students of AUSL, of course, and to recognize and honor two inspiring leaders and friends, Mike and Robin Zafirovski. 20 years ago, Mike envisions that aspiring teachers would stay and thrive in our underserved and under-resourced schools if we provided them with the opportunity, if we provided them with the training and the incentive to do so. And today, as you heard earlier, there are over 1,200 graduates from the Chicago Teacher Residency Program, and 20 of those alumni are here tonight to receive awards and to be honored. Fantastic. Also would say, Michael, back to you, to Robin. Again, you heard AON, our entire mission is to enrich lives of the people around the world. You know what? You both live that mission every single day. Truly, truly amazing. Mike's been instrumental in guiding AUSL as a longstanding board member and current co-chair. And we all know Mike. This is the definition of an inspirational leader in every way, shape, or form, whether attending CTR graduations, advising students, or being a mentor to principals. He and Robin set the leadership standard to which we all aspire. And they're committed to the idea that education is the great equalizer, and that students should have access to excellent education in their own neighborhoods. And they're committed to make sure this promise is delivered. I also want to say, because if you spend any time with Mike and you talk to him about his family, you realize Mike and Robin have impact that extends well beyond their business and philanthropic efforts. Their love and support with their 3 sons and 6 grandchildren ensure their legacy will continue for generations to come. And I know we have 2 of the 3 here tonight, and I just want to say, if I could, to Todd, to Matt, and to Kirk, where Kirk is tonight, I want to tell you something. I know you already know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Your parents embody a rare combination of capabilities and attributes: vision, mission, leadership, persistence, patience, and a conviction to absorb challenges and power forward when others retreat. Extraordinary. Tonight's recognition highlights how unique Mike and Robin are in the world we live in today. I just want to say to Mike, Robin, thank you both for your extraordinary work and leadership. Amazing. It's now my pleasure to introduce a short video highlighting Mike and Robin's contribution to AUSL. Roll the tape.
You have to ask yourself, where did his desire come from? Why is he doing it? You know, he could just be Mike Zafirovski, a rich guy who's doing good work and who's caring about business. And that's the American dream, isn't it? Just be a businessman, be a businesswoman, be successful, and have all the good things that go with it. That wasn't enough for Mike. Mike wants this town to be stronger. Mike wants this country to be stronger. He knows it's not going to happen if we don't educate our kids.
Leadership is an action, not a position. And what Mike does is constantly show that he's always in action. Because of people like Mike, we can better dream about what's possible for our babies. If we don't have people who are willing to put us as a priority to help others also see why that is important, then there will be no progress.
Where do you start when you think about the impact of AUSL? We could sit here for hours and I could tell you stories of each one of our students, from the programs that those students participate in, to the academic rigor that they had, from the beautiful, smart, intelligent, very well-trained teacher that was in front of them. I can tell you all those stories. And each and every one of those stories is impacted by the contributions of our partners, specifically our Mike Zafirovskis.
I met Mike and Robin as people who had shown an uncommon interest in children and in schools, and made it clear that they would really like to contribute to the betterment of the school system. Well, music to my ears. Well, his impact on AUSL has been profound, because this doesn't just happen. The people who have made this an extraordinary effort, and it's still going. And the reason it's still going is because the men and women in the classroom won't quit. They won't stop. Zafirovski understood that. He's a tough guy. He's a smart guy. He wanted things like that to happen.
Well, we've been fortunate enough to have Mike visit us, and the impact that he's had is he's just touched so many, myself, but also to our students. Students that have come from a different country, from immigrant background, are learning English. He's a great role model. He just wears his heart on his sleeve, and whenever I have a conversation with him, he's always going back to what students need and what our struggles are. And so we are so fortunate to have people like Mike that have invested themselves to just helping our school go down the right path.
When you make remarkable progress in 31 of the bottom schools, you move the whole system. And that's what they did. Mike and his family are the kinds of people that will make this city, make this country prosper and do well. But we got to keep at it.
As Greg and Mike Koldyke and so many others so eloquently stated, Mike and Robin are really just models of leadership. And if I could sum it up, I would say, they show up. They show up for everything they do. They are completely invested in everything they take on, and they're complete role models. They provide access to an amazing network of resources, and they encourage others to support AUSL and its vision of equity in education. They give of their time, their talent, and their treasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike and Robin Zafirovski.
Wow. Cardell, thank you for your kind introduction. Thank you for the amazing video. And Greg, thank you to you for the wonderful words. Mike and I are truly humbled and honored to receive this recognition. Our gratitude really extends to the many AUSL contributors and partners over the years for your partnership, your dedication, and the things that you've done to make the important work of AUSL possible. A special thank you. We have friends and family that are here with us this evening, and as Greg mentioned, two of our three sons, the two sons that live locally, Matt and Todd, are here, which is such a blessing. And to those of our friends who couldn't join us this evening but are here supporting us from afar. Since moving back to this area 20 years ago, Mike and I have centered much of our time in philanthropic activities with organizations that focus on health, education, and the well-being of children in the Chicago area. Our involvement with AUSL and the Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital Chicago are truly a passion project for both of us. These organizations both provide physical, mental, social, and emotional development to Chicago's children. Lurie Children's Healthy Community work and focus in under-resourced communities is to provide children with access to health care and other community services. This work is so complementary to the mission of AUSL, working tirelessly to improve educational outcomes for underserved students with focus on educational, social, and emotional needs. For me, education was part of my upbringing. Many of my family were or currently are educators. I was fortunate to grow up in a small town where I could have the ability to safely walk to school, my elementary school, my middle school, and my high school, and remember having teachers who made a meaningful impact on my life. I was able to attend college on scholarship and was fully prepared. This instilled in me a strong belief that quality education for all is an absolute necessity. So the mission, the vision, the transformational work of AUSL truly underscores this belief, making our connection to AUSL a natural fit. I'm also very proud of Mike for his unwavering commitment, passion, he's got just a little bit of that, leadership, devotion, and tenacity in carrying on the legacy of AUSL. It truly comes from the heart, and I'm very lucky to stand by his side.
Thank you, Robin. It's getting almost as hard to follow Robin as it is to follow Mike Koldyke. But let me also echo Robin's gratefulness for this honor, as well as our deep respect for Mike Koldyke, who unfortunately is not able to be here tonight, for Don Feinstein, for the AUSL organization, and for the board, the principals, the teachers, and for the remarkable work over the last 2 decades. I also want to thank our co-chair, Cardell. I really want to thank you for stepping up, agreeing to be a co-chair earlier this year, and then also agreeing to be the sole chair of the board as a 1-1. Madame Chairwoman has a wonderful tone to it, so Cardell, I know the board and AUSL is in great hands with you. So again, thank you very much for you stepping up and all you do. Greg, thank you for that. I have always enjoyed our friendship. Thank you for stepping up. You and Mamie have raised 2 great kids, and AON is certainly a pillar in the community, so thank you for all you do. Thank you to all the sponsors, the friends that are here tonight. We are really privileged and touched from your support. I believe from the bottom of my heart of AUSL's mission that all students should have access to an excellent education right in their own neighborhood. I'm proud how AUSL has always set high expectations. We used to say high expectations and no excuses. I know that last comment can be somewhat provocative in today's world, but I can assure you when we say high expectations, there's unwavering resolve to meet those high expectations in a compelling and a holistic fashion. We've done that for the last 2 decades. I know that's only going to continue in the future. Of course, there's nothing more important in the development of young people than strong education. And it is impossible to say that word without really focusing on public education, the largest segment from K-1 to K-12 education. As many of you know, I'm a proud and appreciative product of the public schools in the United States. We immigrated to the United States when I was 15 and a half. With my parents and my sister, my parents were factory workers, union in Cleveland. They actually never learned to speak the language. I went to a regular high school a few days after coming in this country, not speaking any English. My sons would say I'm still working on it. But a few years ago, I gave you an episode of how a history teacher helped me in a very challenging time. I'll tell you one more, it may take a couple minutes. And probably the funniest story I can tell you, it's just poking fun at me, but also the impact the great teacher, in this case, Coach Rick Anderson, had on me. I was a recreational swimmer in the old country, but when we came here, the kids were teaching me how to speak English, were swimmers. So of course, as a 16-year-old at that time, you do what 16-year-olds do, you follow your friends. So I, quote unquote, walked on the swim team. Berea High School, one of the best swim teams in the country. Top two or three in Ohio. So the headline is that I became a good swimmer. I was junior at that time. I became a good swimmer in 2 years. Among the top 10 in the state. Helped me get a full scholarship to college. But the bigger story is almost it never happened. And here's the funny story. I made the JV team as a junior, quite unusual. And I worked hard in the preseason, but never thought I would get to swim at all. If I did, maybe at the end of the season. So very first meet, again, a small swimming pool, but probably 500 people in 1/4 of this room. You have a swimming pool and you have the seats right next to the swimming pool. So as the JV meet was about to be over, we're swimming Canton McKinley, a powerhouse in Ohio. The coach comes and taps me on the shoulder and says, Mike, you'll get to swim in the 100-yard breaststroke. I say, okay, that's the very last event before the varsity swimmers come. And the place at this time is packed. I mean, there's any seats. I'm walking up. I was probably the same size then as I was now. So people say, well, he looks like a swimmer. Big expectations. Then it dawns on me, I actually have never dove before. I mean, I was swimming. So I'm in row 1, and you have all these people right next to you. So you think of since the Olympics, when you dive, you're supposed to look up. And this is the breaststroke. And if you know anything about breaststroke, you dive in, you glide, you take a very strong pull, glide some more, take a strong kick. By the time you're done, you're probably 70% of the first lap you're finished. You take 2 more strokes, then you go back against 4 lanes. So all those things are going through your mind. So I'm there, I dive and I look as far as I can. And you know, your hands are supposed to hit the water first. Was my knees hit first, then my stomach, then my head, then my hands. So I wasn't dead on arrival, I was dead on start. I mean, I'm in the water 2 yards from the starting block. By the time my head is up, I mean, the guys are finishing the first lap, they're turning around. I still remember my time, hour and 40, I mean, not an hour. No, 1 minute, 1 minute and 42 seconds. So I was almost lapped in a four lap race. So I'm embarrassed. You feel like you're 2 inches tall, and I decided I was going to quit. I mean, this is silly. What am I trying to do? Be a swimmer? Coach Anderson came. This is Mike. Now you're not going to quit. This is my fault. I did not do my job to get you ready for your first meet. So I told you the good story, the good swimmer, full scholarship, but that's what good educators do. They help students achieve their potential. And as you heard tonight, in the previous 19 years, I mean, that's what AUSL does. You heard Mike Koldyke, the wonderful principals, Victor, Matt Sullivan, all the other, Christy, Regina Roberts, Romeo and Crockett. I mean, this is the educators in this room. I want to simply say thank you for all you do for so many students. So much appreciated. I'll give you another example, and this is hopefully to stimulate some thoughts, what each one of us can do above and beyond to what we do already. And this person doesn't know I'm going to mention her name, but this is Gloria Harper. Gloria, if you can just stand up just for a second. Gloria has made such a profound impact on so many students, including our 3 sons. Gloria was a chemistry teacher at Lake Forest Academy. Our boys loved her, she loved them. Then she got a huge promotion, Dean of Students at LFA, very prestigious private school, obviously in Lake Forest. And a few years later, she tells us she's leaving to go to this place called Golden Apple. It's the first organization that Mike Koldyke started. They said, wait a second, is that a bigger job? But her passion for what an organization can do for kids. And then fast forward, Matt, when he was at college, decided to work as an intern, internship assignment between his junior and senior year. Then Gloria calls me at the end of that summer. She was almost crying to say, Mike, I cannot tell you the wonderful job that Matt did presenting to the Golden Apple Board of Directors. Wonderful topic, how to increase retention of teachers in education. Soon afterwards, Gloria and Matt introduced us to Mike Koldyke, and Mike was right. I mean, I listened to his vision, Golden Apple, AUSL, and I just asked him, Mike, how can I help you? Be careful what you ask for. Soon, I was a proud board member at AUSL. And again, thank you, Gloria, for all you did for our family. And I'll just finish in a few sentences, but this is a reminder to all of us to always to be open and to look for ways you can say yes on things that matter, whether it's your time, talent, or treasure. In these days of polarization and generalization, all of us know what somebody else should be doing. Very rarely it is us that are stepping up to say what we can do. So I encourage all of us, myself included, to look for ways to say yes to your calling. You can be a founder like Mike Koldyke, you can be a leader like Don Feinstein, you can be a board member, you can be a volunteer, you can be a donor. The challenges and opportunities, particularly in education, are endless, but I would say also the personal rewards in the place that's most important to each one of us. So I'm proud of the work that AUSL has done for 20 years. I'm confident under Cardel's and Don's leadership, that's also going to continue for decades to come. Robbie, I want to thank you for coming and for help to make this what could be a record evening for AUSL. And of course, thank you for this honor and award. Robbie and I will cherish it for the rest of our lives. Thank you very much.